Hello and thank you for watching my channel. Today we're going to talk about why the Jews don't accept Jesus' miracles as evidence that he's the Son of God. Now when missionaries go door to door trying to convince people that Jesus is the Messiah and the Son of God, one subject that's sure to come up is the miracles that Jesus performed. Now to a Gentile who doesn't know anything about the Bible or Christianity, that might be pretty convincing to them. And they might say, hey, what time is church? Let's go. But what happens when you go to a Jew's house and you try to convince them that the miracles that Jesus performed are evidence that he is the Son of God? Now keep in mind, these miracles are often referred to as signs. What are some of the miracles that Jesus performed? Jesus cast out demons. He healed the sick, the blind, the mute, the lame. He turned water into wine. He raised Lazarus from the dead. So what more evidence do you need that he's the Son of God? Only the Son of God could do those things, right?
The reason that Jews don't accept Jesus' miracles as proof of his divinity or his messiahship is because the Bible also tells us that false prophets can perform signs and miracles. In fact, even in the New Testament, Jesus gives his disciples the power to cast out demons and heal the sick. But for Jews, the answer goes back to the book of Exodus, when Moses is approached by God, and God tells Moses, go tell the Pharaoh to let you guys go. And he says, well, what if you don't believe me? And God says, what's that in your hand? It's my staff. And God says, throw it on the ground. And it turns into a snake. And God says, now grab the snake by the tail, and it turns back into a staff again. So Moses goes to the Pharaoh, and he does this parlor trick for him and says, let me go. And what does the Pharaoh do? Well, he gets some magicians to come along who can also perform the same tricks.
There's a couple other miracles. Well, they're not really miracles. They're just things that Jesus did that if you were going door to door and you came to a Jew's house, they're probably things you'd want to leave out. These are not things that you would want to tell a Jew to try to convince them to come to Jesus. The time when he withered the fig tree because it didn't have any fruit on it, because that's against Judaic law. You're not supposed to kill fruit trees even in times of war, especially in times of war. The other one was where he cast out that legion of demons, and he cast them into 2,000 pigs, and they went over the cliff into some water. Even though the Jews don't eat pigs, you're still supposed to be nice to them. They're still God's creatures.
Here's something else to consider. In all of the Old Testament and the Hebrew Scriptures, nowhere does it say, you will know the Messiah by the miracles he performs.
Hey, Jesus, do you think you could turn my wine into beer?